Aloha, my love. So excited. I'm here in Bali. I just got out of the spa. I'm going to be doing a live astrology reading for a goddess in our tribe. Julia is from Italy, and I promised her she's one of my new clients for my astrology readings. So I thought, let's come on here and share it with the world. It's really interesting, and you'll be able to learn a lot. Astrology is such a powerful science, and it combines science and spirituality. So you can really learn so much about yourself and each other. You can even do composite charts so you can see how you are compatible with different people in your relationships and things like that. But basically, we're going to do a screen share. I'm going to take you to her chart. And hold on, let me get it pulled up here. And then we'll talk about all the things. So when you're learning about astrology, one of the things that got me super passionate about it was to understand how accurate it can be. You know, so for example, we're just looking at her chart right now. Julia was born in Italy in 1993, June 20th. So if you look at the chart, on the inside here is in these black symbols, this is where the planets were when she was born. And then the outer ring, the green symbols, are where the planets are right now in the universe. So it's really interesting because you can kind of see where they are now and how they're affecting her energy at this time. So, okay, let's look at it right now. Her sun is actually, when she was born, her sun is in the 6th house in the 29th degree of Gemini. So she was the last day of the Gemini. And then the moon is at the 8th degree of Cancer, and her ascendant is 9th degree. So she actually has her moon is right on the descendant on the inside of that, on the 6th house. So what it means is, and her sun and her moon are really conjunct. So her sun, so she's quite balanced in her masculine, feminine energy, in her yin and yang energy, and she would show up that way. So she would have like both qualities, which is very positive. And it's in the 6th house. So she's very into this health and fitness, which I know that to be true for her because she's also into hiking and she does yoga. She came to my yoga teacher training and she's a certified yoga teacher now. So anyway, and then she has the moon there. So it's also where she feels really the most at home. Wherever your moon is where you feel the most at home. So for her, it's going to be in the 6th house where she's being of service and she's helping other people to be healthier, happier, more fit. That's what the 6th house is all about. And then the black line right there, the DC line, that is the descendant. So that's really how she is on the inside of herself. And she is in the sign of that is Cancer, same as me, which is the nurturing, loving mother energy. That's her true nature inside of herself. She loves to nurture people. She loves to heal people in that way. So you can see that from her descendant being there in, and then that's in the 7th house. You can see she has Chiron and also Mercury. So she has Mercury also in Cancer, Chiron in Leo, and also Mars in Leo. So Chiron, and she has Chiron next to Mars. Chiron is the shaman planet, or it's an asteroid actually, but it's basically showing where her deepest wound is, her greatest opportunity for healing. Usually when you learn about that and then you learn how to heal that, then you can help others to heal that in themselves, and it becomes a big part of your life purpose, is healing that and helping others to heal that. And it's this kind of ripple effect once you discover what your true purpose and your dharma is. And then we have Leo. Okay, so she has Mars and Leo. There's a lot of fire there, and she has all this in the 7th house. Sometimes when we have Chiron in the 7th house, there can be, challenges with personal relationships because 7th house is all about marriage or personal relationships. I'm not sure if that's true for her, but sometimes it's the case, sometimes not. She has her Mercury there in the 7th house also, so she might even have part of her purpose is to help people with their relationships, because Mercury is the planet of, your message and communication, and she has that also in the 7th house, and she also has that in Cancer. So that's communicating about the home and the family, helping people with their relationships could be a big part of her dharma. if she chooses to. And then, like I said, she has Chiron in Leo, 7th house, so healing people in their relationships, healing herself in her relationship energy, and in the Leo energy, which is that leadership. So really stepping more into leadership and feeling the courage of that. And then you can see, if we go around to the side, you see this one looks like a 4, that's Jupiter. So that's, she actually also has Jupiter in Libra, just like me. She has it very close to where my Libra is, Jupiter. And then Moon is just transiting that right now. So the Moon is the green one up at the top. You can see that's like where the energy of, where she feels really at home. And right now that's transiting Jupiter, which is the planet of expansion and luck. So she might be actually having a very harmonious, positive energy right now, because of that Moon transit, and because she already had Jupiter in Libra, and also because Jupiter is actually right now, it's trine where it is in the universe. So if you see all the way to the left, all those green ones on the left, that's where the planets are right now. And you can see Jupiter, Saturn, Mercury, Pluto, and the Sun. These are all combined. These are all conjunct over in the first house, her first house, and that's the same as me. So me and her have a very similar planetary influence right now. I actually think it's very positive. There's a lot of power there, a lot of expansion. As long as you stay disciplined, you're going to experience a lot of success, because it's in Capricorn and Aquarius, which is like business, structure, and also spiritual enlightenment. So a lot of planets over there for all of us. This is happening in the universe. We have 5 planets: Jupiter, Saturn, Mercury, Pluto, and the Sun, all together right now. It's going to get even more powerful in the next couple weeks when the Sun transits over there where the other 4 are. We're going to have like amplified energy as we move to the end of January and into February. Anyway, so for her, she's also got, you see this little green one, Venus in the 12th house, transiting the 12th house, Sagittarius right now. And in her chart, Venus is in the 4th house in Taurus. So Venus in Taurus is said to be exalted. So Venus in Taurus is exalted. What does that mean? It means that Taurus is ruled by Venus, which is a planet of love and sensuality and everything beautiful. And she has Venus there in Taurus, so it's home there. And then she has that in her 4th house, which is also the house of the home and family. So she has a very auspicious home and family energy, which I know that to be true because she has a great family. They have this beautiful hotel in Italy. So anyway, so she's got, you can see that. And then you can see like North Node is transiting her, it's about to transit into her 5th house. That's that little green one on the right side, on the outside ring. North Node is the planet, or it's an asteroid, but it's not really an asteroid. It's just like a point in the horizon, like where you were born, and it indicates where the moon and the horizon and the earth all line up. So her North Node is in Gemini right now, but when she was born, it was in Sagittarius. So she was born in the 11th house, North Node in Sagittarius, and the North Node is getting ready to transit her 5th house opposition to that. So she's going to feel a lot of energy around the 5th house. A lot of us are going to feel, but for her, it's going to be in the Gemini. It's going to be in the playfulness, in the joy energy. In the 5th house is a lot of that kind of inner child, sexuality, enjoyment of life. It's really like a fun house. And she's getting ready to have North Node transit. So it's going to feel like her destiny is to have fun and nothing else really matters as much, which could very well be the case. I know she's been over there in Italy skiing and enjoying herself, even despite the lockdowns. And yeah, so you can kind of see how all of these planets, and everything keeps moving. There are certain planets that move very slow. So Pluto, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Chiron, they move very slow. So where those are in the green on the outer ring, that's where those are going to be for a while. But then, some of the other ones move very fast, like the sun. It moves the whole house every month. And then the moon, it moves even faster than that. So some of these are always transiting, bringing new energy, new flow, making you feel different way, like sometimes more inward, sometimes more extrovert, sometimes more energy, sometimes more fire, sometimes feel tired. A lot of this is influenced by the planets, by the moon, by the sun. Where is everything in relation to your energy? And that affects how you feel in every moment. So the more that we understand our own birth chart, it's like a blueprint for the soul. And then we understand how that is correlating to where all the planets are in the universe at this time. And we can really feel into, like how to live in alignment with that. And we can plan around it in a way. Like if you know that there's a time of the year where your planets are going to be really harsh aspect, you're going to want to plan not to travel, not to do anything big at that time. And then when it's more favorable aspects like Jupiter lining up with your sun, or the moon and Jupiter or Venus, these auspicious planets, when they line up with your chart in an auspicious way, that's when you want to plan to launch something big, and because you're going to have a lot of support from the universe, even more so than usual, because of the alignment of these major planets and energies in the universe. So that's how I like to use this information. And what you can do, is actually plan ahead. That's why we call it predictive astrology. You can look to the future and you can say, okay, well, I can see that in August, I always have a lot of energy for myself, for example, because the sun transits across my 7th house, Leo, and it goes across Venus, it goes across North Node, my vertex, my sun, all of that within 1 month gets activated. So I have like double as much power to manifest than usual because of the support and the assistance from these powerful planets. At the same time, sometimes we don't have the support from the universe as much as we wish we could, right? So in those times, that's when we want to be more inward. Maybe that's when you're going to meditate more. Maybe that's where you're going to do a retreat, or you're going to just focus on learning about yourself inward. But when the planets align for you to be external and be more extroverted, then you can line yourself up that way. Also, it's the same as the moon cycles. We have the moon, sometimes it's full, we have so much energy. Sometimes it's full, we're so tired. Sometimes it's new moon and we have so much energy. So you really got to read, like, why is that? And sometimes it has to do with what house the moon is in. So right now the moon is actually in Libra. So you can see that the moon is in Libra right now. And it's actually, for me, very beneficial because I have 4 planets in Libra. But if you don't have any planets in Libra, you may or may not feel like extra, positive energy from that. You might, like, for example, if the moon transited over your Chiron, right, where your Chiron is in your chart, you might feel a deeper experience of healing because of that. So sometimes, like, it brings us in the ebbs and flows of life, and it brings us inward, and then we can go expand outwards, inward and outward. I had a revelation about this one time. It has to do with like the expansion and contraction of our consciousness is always breathing with the universe. So the universe is expanding and then it's contracting. It's expanding and contracting. And we are, if we get in sync with that, we're able to ride the waves of expansion and contraction. And then it actually no longer feels like expansion or contraction, because when you're riding that wave, all you are is just one with the wave. So there's a saying, I think it was by Rumi, about, you are not a drop in the ocean, you are the entire ocean in a single drop. And what that really means is when you become totally absorbed, in yoga, we have a word for it. It's called total absorption, samadhi, which is also enlightenment, or like the highest attainment of meditation. I also call this the flow state. But when you're in this total absorption, you don't feel the ebb and flow because you just are one with the flow. So if you're one with the flow, you would never feel like it's some kind of like wild ride, right? It's like more like being in the eye of the storm instead of being caught up in the periphery of the bands and the waves and the wind. Instead, you're just that center point. You're the eye of the storm. And so you feel just absolute calm, certainty, clarity, alignment, regardless of what's happening around. And that's really what living in flow state's all about. It's the name of my new book. But anyway, I made this astrology reading for Julia, and so she's gonna watch on the replay. But if you guys have any questions about any of this, feel free to leave in the comments. And if you would like to have your chart read, feel free to also leave that in the comments, and maybe we could set that up for you. And if you have any questions, of course, and feel free to leave them in the comments, and always definitely subscribe to my channel and share with your friends. If people are looking to expand their consciousness, on my channel I do a lot of meditations, yoga, breath work. We have visualizations, ways to create your ideal dream life, so many videos. I would start with the 30-day happiness challenge, or the 30-day happiness challenge is really a great place to start. Another thing you could do is I have a 7-day flow challenge. If you want to try that, go to theflowstate.tv, and join the free 7-day flow challenge. Really just learn how to get into flow a little bit better in your life. And also, if you want to download a free chapter of my book, I'm going to put the links below. You can get a free chapter of my book, Learn How to Script Your Ideal Day, just by implementing the law of intention. And you can go to theflowstate.co and download that for free. All right, so I'm coming to the end of this session. I'm running out of battery on my computer. I'm here in Bali. I just got done with the spa. I had a massage and I was in the steam room. That's why I'm like looking like this. But anyway, authenticity is the order of 2021, and I'm just happy to share. I love you so much. Leave a comment if you have any questions. Like I said, definitely keep watching my other videos. If you want to learn more about astrology, let me know in the comments as well. And be sure and check out the 7-day flow challenge. I'll put the link below, theflowstate.tv. All right, so much love, many blessings. Happy New Year. Namaste.